In August of 2009, Viana Haju lost her home, her health, and her livelihood for doing what many people in California are doing right now. She was the director of a medical marijuana dispensary. Her collective was raided by the LAPD in a SWAT-style manner. She and her employees were held by gunpoint. They were talked to in a derogatory, abusive manner, and they even threatened to shoot her animals. What they found and what they confiscated was $120 and 4 pounds of dried cannabis leaves. Let's listen to what happened to Viana Haju right now in her own words.
With the guns drawn, there were a lot of cops. They called me names. He called me, he said, "Get the fuck out of here, bitch." I told him that I need to put my dogs away. I have 2 small dogs. And he said, "I don't give a fuck, I'll shoot them." And in the dispensary was me, my security guard, our security guard, and a patient. The patient got very scared and he started throwing up. They drag us out outside of the dispensary, and they handcuff us, and they search the place, and they find in the drawer $120 and less than a pound of medicine in the jars. He was a very, very bad talking to me, called me names, and told me he went to one of the volunteer house and put everybody on the floor, what I heard later on, and put the shotgun to their heads like they did to my daughter. And I told that if they go to my apartment to get the key, so because I have my daughter, it's a bipolar schizophrenic, and she's suicidal. And he didn't care. He said, "I don't care." And
during the raid, Viana began to feel dizzy and faint, and she asked the LAPD for her blood pressure medication. They took the medication out of her purse and sat it in front of her, but never gave her a pill. Later on that evening, she was booked, and the police asked her to sign a release, what she thought was a release for her possessions. She was faint, she was dizzy, she wasn't feeling well. Later on, she found out that she signed a confession admitting her guilt of having 50 pounds of marijuana, and her bail was set at $50,000. Later that evening, Viana suffered a stroke.
Medication, because I have a very bad headache and my blood pressure was up, and they took the medication out of my purse, and they put it in front of me. I was handcuffed and sit on the couch. They put it in front of me on the table and never gave it to me. A couple of hours later, when they brought me to the station, I told the commander in charge there that I have a very bad headache and they didn't give me my medication. I have the medication. This one told them to book me and then bring me to the jail in Van Nuys because they don't have nurse on staff. And while they were booking me, they made me sign a few pieces of papers, which I didn't have my glasses. They didn't let me read. They told me that is for my possessions. They took all my possessions from me, and I signed. To find out later in the court that they put a piece of paper which was said was a confession that I signed it, that I confessed to whatever they thought I did.
Most medical marijuana dispensaries are raided by the federal government. The reason why this happens is because the federal government does not recognize state law. Marijuana is a Class 1 drug, therefore it's federally illegal. In Viana Haju's case, her dispensary was raided by the LAPD. Viana had all the correct documentation, she had paid her business license and her taxes, and yet she was still raided by her own state police. Why do we pay taxes for this injustice?
In my franchise, the tax board, it states medical marijuana dispensary collective. So if I didn't lie to you, and even today, you go to them and you have to pay extra because if they ask you, are you selling medical marijuana? If we are illegal to sell medical marijuana, why you ask me to pay you money for that?
Right.
You should said no. You cannot open
You can
this.
open this.
You
What do you
cannot
mean?
open this. This is
But
not
no, they
right.
said no. You have.
LA City Councilman Jose Huizar campaigns that the reason why we need to shut down the medical marijuana dispensaries is because they're profiteers making over $100,000 a month. Like every medical marijuana dispensary owner is Pablo Escobar. This is not true. The real Pablo Escobar is something much more sinister. It's a corporation called Big Pharma. Viana Haju is nothing like that.
Where is your mansion? Where is your car? Where is your money? I said, what money? What are you talking about? And he said, oh, you know what I'm talking about. I said, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Because I don't have mansion. I don't have cars. I was driving a Honda Civic and I was living in an apartment with my daughter. And I had a salary of $2,200 a month, and they paid me my medical insurance. That's what I got from running managing a legal dispensary. We were not making money. It was a non-profit organization. We did not make money off of this.
A lot of people wonder why Viana won't just take a plea and get it over with. But Viana has done nothing wrong, and she will not lie in a court of law.
Well, I should not take a plea because if I take a plea, I would be a liar. I never lied in my life. And if I raise my hand in the court and I said that I will say the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and help me God, if I take the plea, I will be a liar.
Viana has lost her health, her home, and her ability to be employed is non-existent.
The affair, I never got anything back from them. It cost me my health, my apartment, I got evicted. The lawyer cost me over $25,000. And right now I really need your help. And I appreciate it if you guys can help me out to fight this system. This system is wrong. We need to fight this. Please help me to fight this system.
Thank you for staying tuned. This is Hollywood Hunter's Hour. Online right now through Skype, we have Dejay Kuti to give us the Compassion Flower Report. Welcome to the show, Dejay.
Hi, thanks for having me. Good to be here with you.
It's good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to be seen.
So what's going on in LA right now?
Well, I thought what I would let all of our audience know about is one of the blog posts we put up recently was about a dispensary operator here in LA by the name of Viana Haju. And if people go to our blog, Cannabis Patient Voice, they can click over to it from our website, cannabissaveslives.org. The title of the blog post is Vindictive Prosecution versus Viana Haju. And the reason I entitled it that way is I've been going to court with Viana now for 3.5 years on local charges from the LA District Attorney's Office, who raided her for doing what hundreds of collectives are doing throughout the city. And of course, whenever they call, her case up, it's always the people versus Viana Haju. And I don't see the people there being represented. The only thing I see being representative there is a very vindictive prosecution who's trying to take her down. I can talk a little bit more about her case. I don't know if you have any specific questions you'd like me to address.
Well, I know, like, her case is you know, you've been working on it, and we've also talked about her on the show previously. One thing that I would like to do is discuss, perhaps let the viewers know about the fundraiser that we have going on for her and her legal defense coming up very soon.
Right. Well, as people can know, and like I said, if they read the blog, they'll see the way the police treated her, what they did to her daughter, what they did to her home, how they've wrecked this woman's life. And as you can imagine, when you have to pay an attorney for 3.5 years for the prosecution dragging out this case, they've switched prosecutors, like I think 5 times, and just found every reason to drag this out for no other reason than just to bankrupt this woman. And so, yeah, she definitely needs some help with her legal expenses and, you know, other medical needs that she has had as a result of this. And so, yeah, you and I have teamed up to do a show here in the future. I don't know if there's a solid date on that.
What I do like about marijuana is that it changes your perspective on reality, right? And these aren't easy times, so sometimes I feel like I need it. Like I'm like, fuck it, I can't pay rent. And like he says, you know what? If you legalize marijuana, you might as well just legalize crystal meth. And I'm like, oh my God. Okay, come on. You cannot compare pot smokers to tweakers. I mean, maybe they get their house cleaned up and shit, but whatever. But you know what? I think that the tweaker and the pot smoker can work together. Because the pot smoker will think up stuff and the tweaker will execute it. This is really how we create a perfect society. No, there. That's a tiny hand. Bring it up here, dude. Yeah, all you need is a handful.
And so that's a way that people can, you know, will be able to donate in the future at an event. But if people want to donate right now, if they go to our blog and read the story, they can look in that side margin on our blog, and there's a donate button specifically for the Viana Haju Legal Defense Fund. So I'm hoping people will take a look at that. Go to CannabisSavesLives.org, click over to our blog, read the story, make a donation, sign up for our Twitter at Pan4Compassion, and get involved.
Great.
As an American citizen, I am concerned about the militarization of our police. Just recently, the ACLU is doing an investigation on our police force. They want to find out why SWAT teams are being deployed, how much money is being used, whether or not anybody's injured. The Homeland Security has just ordered 26 million rounds of ammo, which equates to 12.6 billion bullets, which means that they can shoot every American and immigrant with 5 bullets. Why is this happening when our Second Amendment rights are in question? Just recently in 2011, there was some sort of militarized police that nobody could identify that seemed to come out of Disneyland in Anaheim. And some people believe that Disneyland is the happiest place on earth. On the police car, there are the words protect and serve. But who are they protecting? And what do they serve? It's just like a euphemism an advertisement, something that we've been conditioned with, like good to the last drop. Is it really good to the last drop? Well, quite frankly, it's just the last drop. It may be good or it may not be. Have it your way. I don't know about you, but every time I go to Burger King and ask for a side of ranch dressing, they say no. It takes a licking, but it keeps on ticking. Well, that one may be true because it takes a good lick to make me tick. But here's one for you. Nothing says oppression like a gun in their face. Now, maybe if we add some snappy music and some good visuals, people will begin to believe that one too.
Right now, I really need your help. And I appreciate it if you guys can help me out to fight this system. This system is wrong. We need to fight this. Please help me to fight this system.